a little paint for my new Jeep Gladiator. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and that's right. I'm gonna do a little painting for my new Jeep Gladiator back here. Now, not really the body itself, per se. More some accent work, some accenting features that I'm gonna be adding to it. So let's take a look. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and I apologize if it gets a little windy because it is a pretty windy day out here today. We've got some kind of front or something coming through. I don't even know. But as you may have noticed, I do have green tow hooks on the front of the white Jeep Gladiator. Now, those came from my other truck, my Gobi colored Jeep Gladiator. I had this bumper on there and I painted the tow hooks green as kind of an accent color for that truck. And I thought it went along really well with the Gobi color. Now, of course, fast forward to today, I've traded the Gobi on this one, or for this one. If you want to know what happened there and you don't know already, I'll leave a link to that video below. But I slapped that bumper on here, and then originally I thought about painting those tow hooks black. But then I thought, you know, that's just going to blend in with the bumper, and I really didn't want to do that. I must admit, for a brief second, white crossed my mind, but then I thought, nah, that'll look tacky. I don't want those to be white. And then I considered red, but I really didn't want the red Rubicon theme either, you know, or the orange Mojave for that matter. So I've been looking at the truck, the way that it sits right now, and I've been thinking, you know, I kind of dig the green on there. I actually like that. So we're going to stay with the green theme. Of course, there's always a hiccup, a little bump in the road, right? I went to Lowe's and I tried to find that green paint. It's gone. They're completely out. I don't know if they're ever going to get it back in, so who knows? So I had to go with something else. I'm going to show you in a minute. But what else is going to be green on the truck? Well, let's take a quick look. Again, hopefully it's not too windy out here. On the back, on the Gobi, I had two tow hooks. They were both the same green as the front, right? And that's important, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. But you notice there are no tow hooks on here right now. That's because they are currently drying because I painted them. Now, going up over here to the side, you'll notice the trail rated badge is missing. That's because I also pulled this thing off. Looks like I need to clean a little bit more there. We'll take care of that. But I pulled it off because I am indeed painting that. I've actually already painted it blue, or not blue, but green already. So, speaking of blue, it did cross my mind too to go ahead and paint the accents blue to kind of tie it into the Tacoma back there, you know, a voodoo blue. But I thought that would be not a good combination on my truck. So I kind of shied away from that, right? So let's take a look in here. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. First, let's go ahead and look at the paints. This is the paint that I used originally on those tow hooks on the back. It's a spruce green, spruce green. And I really did like it, but as I mentioned, Lowe's doesn't have it anymore. So I had to pick something else, and of course you can see it sitting right here, and that is this hunter green. I wanted to get something as close as I could, and I'm sure I didn't really succeed. Let's see if we can get some good light on these for you guys. There is a comparison between the two, and if anything, I think the hunter green might just look like a darker version of this spruce green. So I think I'm going to be okay with what I'm doing here. So I am going to go with hunter green. Now, what have I done so far? Well, before I knew that Lowe's didn't have any more spruce green, I had gone ahead and painted the trail rated badge. You guys can see it right there. And it is painted in the spruce green. Let me bring it under the light a little bit better for you. So that's what it looks like. And it came out really well. I mean, the lines, there's no globbing. It looks pretty good. I think even better than the first time that I did it, when I did it originally. And I like that. Now, what am I doing with this hunter green then? Well, this is what I'm going to be doing, or have done, the rear tow hooks in. Now, let me pull the cap off. Easier said than done, right? 2 hands for this job. And then I'll lay it down here beside. You guys can kind of get a little bit of a comparison, if you will, between the two. So there is what it looks like, right? Now, you'll notice it's not hugely off, which is a good thing for what I'm doing. Let me grab the tow hooks and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, take a look. This is what the tow hooks look like. This is what it came out. Again, it is the hunter green. You can see right there. And let me pull the top off of the spruce. We'll lay it down here for comparison too. There is the spruce, so you guys can see kind of the differences, I guess, between the two greens. Now, why I'm doing it this way, other than not being able to get the spruce anymore, is because I think having the tow hooks green, this hunter green on the back, you're not going to be able to see them in comparison with any of the other greens on the truck. Obviously, if you had everything sitting side by side, well, you can surely tell that there is a difference, right? But having the tow hooks on the back with nothing else next to them to compare to, I think is going to be okay, because indeed, they are still green. Now, you might be wondering, well, why not just go ahead and paint the badge hunter green and paint the hooks on the front hunter green and be done with it? 2 reasons. I have learned in my time as modding and particularly painting that once you get it right the first time, it's never a good idea to redo it, because it never comes out as good as it did originally, right? Plus, painting those tow hooks on the front of the Jeep is a royal pain. You have to tape everything up, and I found that even in doing that, some of the paint still seeps through. It still gets on other things. Keep in mind, I am not a professional painter. So, between the hassle factor and the screw-up factor, I just thought it best to go ahead and approach it this way. Now, if I get everything on there and it doesn't look good and it drives me nuts, well, then I can obviously still paint everything the same color. But I think right now, because of the location, it isn't going to make any difference. And speaking of that, having the trail rated badge, this spruce green, is going to be able to be seen from the side of the truck as you're looking at the front tow hooks, which are the same color. So you won't see any discrepancy between the color that's on the trail rated badge and those on the front tow hooks. Now, let me take you out there and I will show you that, just so that you can see what I mean. And what I'm talking about is if you stand over here or on the side of the truck, obviously you can see the tow hooks there and you can see the little hole right there. I say hole now because there's nothing in it. So you'd be able to see both at the same time. Now, if we go around to the back of the truck, and I actually haven't done this myself. I'm making an assumption when I did this, right? I mean, I guess, you know, if I'm standing way off like this, then I suppose you could see that little badge up there as well as the hooks down here. So you would be able to see both at the same time now that I look at it. So my theory or thought of not being able to see them at the same time is not true. But there is a pretty good distance between the two when you're looking at them. So again, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We will see. Proof will be in the pudding, of course, when I put them on. So that's what I plan to do. We're going to go ahead, leave these dry a few more days. One mistake that I made, and I had talked about that in the original video when I had those painted spruce green, was that I didn't leave them dry long enough, and then I touched it. And when I did that, apparently there was a bubble in the paint or something, and it kind of cracked it a little bit, pushed it in, and left a nice little partial indentation of my thumbprint in that spot. And it was right on top, of course. It couldn't have been on the bottom. It was right on the top surface. I think it was actually, I don't even know which one it was, maybe this one, but right on the top edge. so that you could see it all the time. Drove me nuts. That's part of the reason I repainted them. This actually would have worked out perfectly. Had that not happened, I could have just pulled the spruce green off that was on the other truck and slapped them on the new truck, and everything would have been copacetic, the same color. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, let you guys know what I'm doing. I've had a few questions, you know, are you going to put tow hooks? What about the tow hooks on the back? That's what I'm doing. That's why you don't see them on the truck right now. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Any problems with using two different shades of green in the setup that I'm doing? I'd be curious to know what you think. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive Civic, all about my experiences with the Honda Civic Type R and the Honda Civic Sport Hatchback. Check them out. If you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.